think that if sometimes we just have to push through because your brains are tricking you now. Here's what your brain is telling you. Your brain is saying, I have to rationally understand this in order to make the right sound. So your brain is just giving you one little trick. You don't have to rationally understand anything to make sounds, as we will know. You can make these sounds. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because if you even tried to break down how do we sound things in English, we would hear that there's a variance. And the difference between and a is not so big. And as we talked about, the consonant that comes after it is going to sway it one way or the other anyway. We did a couple of them, remember, with the R sound, the resh after it. So let's read. Instead of thinking too much and talking too much, let's actually do some reading. And we'll stop. If there's a egregious mistake, we'll stop about that. Before we dive into 4, let's go back to page 27 and let's read from the bottom up, because the bottom are harder. Do you know what I mean from the bottom? Let's start with N. And we'll do the thing we've been doing now, which is to read a whole line. And if you want to skip, if you miss class and you don't feel comfortable reading out loud, you can follow along a little bit. Jonathan, do you feel comfortable to start on 27N? We're going to go from the bottom up.
Lot, Shemot, Leilot, Ha-Leilot, Ha-Shelot.
Read the last one, just that last one? The last one. Shut the doors. Yeah, it's very
Ha-Shemot.
good. Good. So not only was that all correct, those are actually all Hebrew words. You're now at the point where you're actually reading lines of Hebrew, not just an occasional Hebrew word, which is very exciting. Okay, Anita. Babel, Bashel, Boshel, Boshelet, Boshet. Good. Yeah, Mitch is just started, so there's you have 4 weeks to catch up really quickly in one song. We'll catch you up, don't worry.
Mara.
Wait, say that one again?
Mara.
Okay, the double dot can be 2, well, the double dot has to be A. Or E.
Marat.
Good, good.
Marat. Mara.
Good.
Marom. Marom. Maram.
Good.
Maram. Merem.
Good.
And Mer.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Tamam.
Wait, read that one again? Good.
Hol.
Mm-hmm.
Hema. Hamal.
Good. So do you want to try? Ed, do you want to try?
We're on J.
Yes, yes. Oh, she threw you off. You practiced the wrong line.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
I thought she threw you off because you were practicing the wrong line.
Oh no. I want to make sure I was going to read the right line.
J, yes.
Mole.
Wait, what's that first one? That first consonant.
T.
Yes,
Tav.
yes.
Trying to blank. To.
So you have a T sound with an ah under it. So
Ta-la.
Good, that's it.
Ta-la.
Then you have the dot on top.
Let's move on to another person.
You know, now the problem is you're standing sometimes. you're looking at a video camera and you're reading and you're saying it's 3 things. It's hard enough to do 1 thing. So follow along. Do you want to try a little bit or do you want to come back to you?
No, I'll keep trying.
Okay, keep on trying. Keep on trying.
Where was I? The third
Third
thing.
Do you want to try C? Do you want to try C again? Okay.
Lot.
Okay, you flip the vowels there. Try that one again. You got the little T vowel underneath the T sound.
Lot.
Good.
There. Lay.
Yep, Tale.
Talel.
Now look under that first lamed. What is it?
Toleo.
Ta, and then what is the one under the first lamed, that little T sound? Does it, can
Ah.
you help? Ah. Mhm.
Talal.
Good,
Taleo.
good, very, very good. So what's happening, guys, it gets harder. We're having to hold on to more things. That's what's happening, so just be patient. This takes a lot of courage and humility to do this, so we'll just carry on.
Rom, Rome, Roma, Romaine, Rama, Marone.
Good, good.
Shell, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom,
Good, good.
Shalom, Shalom.
Good, good. Did we read the last one? I just couldn't hear it. Good, good. And also we have a new distraction, so not only do we have a new room layout, we have a constant chatter in the background, which is, I can see, stressing our abilities here. That's okay, that's okay. We're on F.
Torah, Torah, Lora, Lore, Show, Show,
Good.
Row, Rome, Rome,
Look at that double dot.
okay, so Roman.
Good, that's it, that last.
Ren,
Mhm.
Ramam,
And how would you do the first syllable?
name, Ramam.
Now, it wouldn't be a short name, it'd be either Mom or Raymom.
Okay, Ramam,
Mm-hmm.
Ramam.
Lael, Layla, Lael, Layla, Halo, Layla.
The question check.
The mom and the daughter.
Do you remember, and since a couple people weren't here, let's flip back to that, because that's an important thing that is going to start to confuse some people. So let's go back to the bottom of page 21. On the bottom of page 21 is a tiny paragraph, and it tells us that sometimes there's going to be these random dots in the middle of consonants, and only 3 times does it matter in a way that it's going to affect the sound. And we've learned one of them, which is, who remembers what letter we've learned that has a dot in it? The bet, that's right. So we have 2 more to learn. Everything else that has the dot in it, we don't have to make a different sound. We also learned that tav can have a dot in it and not matter. We've seen a lamed now with a dot in it that doesn't
And
matter.
the shin with the dot hanging out of it.
Now, the shin with the dot on the top is going to be, they're talking about like literally inside the letter.
Yes, there's one on the bottom of page 27.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's in it.
Oh, yeah, good,
That's just
that's
an
right.
ink slot, right?
No, that's
Please tell us
exactly.
it's an ink slot.
No, it's one of those dots that don't matter.
It's a poppy seed.
What is
Yeah.
that word mean?
What is that? Which word?
Last word.
Hashemot. Ha means the, and Shem is name, and Ot is the plural. So it means the names. Have you seen that in your brain?
Yeah.
That's good. It's exciting now. Okay, okay.
Mayor,
We're on C, everybody.
Shomer, Shomer, Shomeret, Shomor, Shor. Resh, Rashim,
No, what do you want to do with that first consonant? Go back to the second, I'm sorry, go back to the second word.
Ha,
Mm-hmm.
oh. Hashem,
Good, good.
Rashim, Roshim, Roshat, Roshet.
Good. Now, on that second to last one, read that second to last one again.
Roshet.
Good, good, good. Very good. Now, one of the things that's tricky about Hebrew that you're seeing is whereas in English we might blend vowels, each consonant has its vowel. And sometimes it's tempting to try to blend those, but don't do that. Jonathan, do you want to read the next line going up? A, the top of the very first one.
Har, hor, ha-ha, ha-hor, ha-bar, ha-hor.
Good. And let's do 3. Now, 3 is going to be rhyming, so the whole line will rhyme. This will make it very easy.
Ra, Shema, Shara, Shela, Sheba, Shema.
Look at just the very last one. What's that?
Bema.
Good, good.
Aim, Shane, Shomain, Omain, I'm sorry, Boshane,
Good.
Lomain, Ho, Lang.
Good. Ray, May, Shemay. Now, that's an example where the English mind is trying to make you blend it. So say distinctly. Sha. Yeah, yeah. Male, Male, Mare, Hare. Good. Okay, and it's going to be you.
Ro, lo, hello,
Good.
shelo, belo, bello. Okay, so on the fifth, that's bello, right?
The bellow is right, and then
Mellow
good,
and tello.
good, good, very good. Hell, bell, male, shell, tail, rail, Hallel. Good, good. Now, I know we had some other homework, but I want to jump ahead because I want to make sure we have enough time to do a lot of reading out loud. Let's take a look at page 29. This should give you a great sense of accomplishment. Look at the top of 29. Look how much you've already learned. It's really quite remarkable. Who would like to read that first line of the Hebrew letters? Who knows the names well enough that they would feel confident in saying this? Okay.
Shem, Bet, Tav, Lamed, Mem, Final Mem, Hey, Rish.
Good. That's a lot. That's like 8 letters. These are the most common letters. And what about, who would like to do all the vowels? I know the vowels.
Names or the sound?
Just the sound. Enjoy just the sound? Okay. O, N, A. Good. Very good. And these are the 4 roots that we've learned already. Would somebody like to read those? Okay, thanks, Tracy.
Shabbat, Shalom, Torah, and Shem.
Good, good. Now, they're also mentioning here that, I don't know why they, oh, I see, they gave those as not roots, they said those as words. And then who would like to say the 3, who can sound the 3 roots that we've learned already? Yeah, okay.
Just the letters.
Yeah, yeah.
Shin, Beit, Tav, Shem, Lamed, Mem, Shin, Resh.
Okay. So this,
Why doesn't it have a dot in it?
which one doesn't have the bait doesn't have the dot in the middle. When we do shourishes, we don't show them with their with their dots.
Oh,
Even though we have the shin, you know, oh, why is the shin? Right, because that makes it bad. It makes it a whole different sound. All right, so let's just move ahead for now and take a look at some new ideas, because now we're not only going to get some new letters, we're going to get a new concept about consonants. So we're going to have a nun, and a nun is a very easy sound. It's just an N sound. And it sits on the line, and this is a line here. It'll look like this. Now, what's tricky about a nun, and everybody's eyes are a little bit different, so I just want to make this very explicit. What's tricky about a nun is that it could look like many other letters. I'm not going to say their names because it might confuse you. How you know it's a nun and not any other letter is the difference between the length of this and the length of that. The two bars, the two horizontal bars, when it's a nun, the top bar will be shorter than the bottom bar. So look at where it says nun as in name. Can you see how the bottom bar is a little bit longer? Okay. Nun, like mem, also has a final form. So when nun is the last letter, it has a special way of looking, and it hangs down, meaning it will go below the line. I'm trying to find, I want to see how they make it. Yeah, the next page usually do it. Like that is how you'll see it in print.
so it goes down below.
Below the line, yep. So those two will be very, very easy. Now, the next two are easy but confusing for our English-speaking minds because they're consonants but they're silent. So how will you make the sound of a silent consonant? The vowel, right. The vowel either below it or next to it or on it. So think about so far, when you did a shin or bet or a tav or lamed or any of those sounds, what you've already trained your brain to do is make consonant sound and then make vowel sound, right? All of you are naturally doing that already, which is great. Now you're hearing that there's going to be a silent letter with a vowel. So your brain will do the same thing. It'll do consonant, silent, and then vowel. It'll instantly do that. That's how you can have a pure vowel sound, because you have a silent letter with it. So let's talk about these two silent letters. The first is an aleph, which happens to be the first letter of the alphabet. Aleph looks like that. And the second is an ayin. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and you don't have to do anything with what I'm telling you. It's just an interesting thought. The ayin is a letter. I'll read what it says here. This chapter introduces three new letters. The letter nun, like the letter mem, which we have already learned, is one of the 5 Hebrew letters that have a regular and a final form. The letter aleph is silent if it is written with a vowel. Only the vowel sound is pronounced. So if it's written without a vowel, nothing is pronounced. It's just a space holder. The letter ayin is also regarded as silent by most Hebrew speakers, and that is how we present it in this book. There are, however, some speakers of Hebrew who pronounce the ayin as a guttural sound in the back of the throat, unlike any English consonant. I will not try to replicate that sound for you. I will not do it often because it's painful. No. The people who they're talking about is Yemenite Jews, some Moroccan Jews, so certain very distinctive Arabic background Jews make ayin like this. Did you hear me say that? Did you hear me deep in the back of my throat? I'll try it again. I'm not obviously from Yemen. Ayin. And the way it sounds is, it's a sound we don't make in English at all.
Vowel after?
Oh, they make whole words around that. So make it with an ah sound after it. And it's like, if you can just, it's fun to try it. Try to make the sound deepest in the back of your throat that's not a consonant. Yeah, not ah like that. Say ah and keep moving it back. Ah. And it's the sound you're going to make right before you drown. Now, obviously we don't make that sound so much. But it's an interesting sound to hear. And so when certain kinds of Moroccans or certain Yemenite Jews are speaking to you, when we go, you'll see. I'll point one out if you can hear this. It sounds like they're speaking right, and then all of a sudden it sounds like a little Martian interruption. It's like, okay, wait, what's that? Like click language almost. So anyway, it's interesting to hear, I should say. But just as a little aside, we ourselves will just make it like a silent letter. That's what I'm trying to pass for Yemenite Jews. Not ready.
So how are those letters used in print when vowels aren't included?
Okay, in print when vowels aren't included, they're just there and they don't make any sound. So then the question is, why are they just there? They're part of a root that in that genuflection, in that form of the word, the root doesn't have a vowel. But in other forms, it might, but they need, it's necessary to have that to be like a three-part root.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's play with these. Let's try to turn to page 30. Say aloud the sound of the following letters, which include those from previous chapters as well as the new ones. Say the word silent. Oh, I see, they don't want you to make funny sounds. Try to do this without looking at the chart above. Oh, well, because they didn't know how they were going to lay this book out. If you see a chart above, you really have a problem. Yeah. So, where did we last leave off? Oh, wait, it was, you were the last one to read?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, Trace, okay, so Pam,
Right,
you
so
just read make the sound, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can say silent, silent.
Silent, silent. Silent, silent.
Good.
That's so hard to do.
It is hard to do.
Silent. Silent. Silent.
Good, good, good. Now, we're starting easy because this is going to build very quickly. These are just single consonant vowels. Do you want to try those?
O, no, A, no, na, ne.
Good. Now, last one's a great example of hearing the difference between ne and ne, almost like ne of a horse neigh. Ne, re, na, le, la. Sha, she. Wait, go back to that.
Sha,
Sha is good, but then what's coming after sha?
te.
No, te. Good, there you go. Good, good, good.
A, re.
Good, very good. No, lo, good.
Pain, name, pain, rain, tone, roan, tone, shen, lane.
Good.
Or shane.
She could say shen or shane for the double dot there.
What did I say?
It was interesting, I was listening to how you said it. You said shen, whereas in general you say, you personally go a, shane, you would normally say shane.
Okay, so it's shane.
But that's remember we said the double dot is the one that can go A or F. Yeah, yeah.
But we also decided only to pronounce A in this class, I thought.
Right, that's
Okay,
what I
so
thought.
okay, so say shane.
Take it to the A.
But week to week, we're forgetting what we're doing. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Nen, ten, nen, nar, na, now, no, own,
Yeah.
own,
Good, good. Okay, let's go back to H.
Nam, ein, bein, au, or.
Now, one of the things though about John is that this is not just a plug for attending services, but a plug for looking at Hebrew. The more you look at Hebrew, the fluenter it becomes. Like just looking at this, like even, I've said like don't study this like for hundreds of hours a day, but if you look at it like at breakfast for 5 minutes or before you went to bed, the more you, because you're imprinting it on your brain, and we don't have signs around us. I mean, we have signs in the classroom around us with Hebrew letters on it, but in general we don't. And so we have no other visual cue. So,
Nama, Naman, Haman, Haran, Ranan, Ranon, Ronain, Ran.
Ana,
now go slow here because you've got long vowels. Try again. Let's first break it into its compartments. So what would the ayin with the yud and those 2 dots under it be? Just that piece.
A,
Good.
Anain,
Nay.
Anain, Are,
Good.
Rar, O, Rar,
Now how would you do that with the double dots? That's hard with the resh. That's very hard to pronounce with the resh.
Ore,
Yeah, there.
Ore,
Yeah. Now remember we said that although the classes we had talked about these double dots and this versus this, and said that sometimes the consonant that comes after it will pull it. So with a resh after it, and the reason why is that resh is already a guttural sound, it's very, very hard to do this with resh after it. If you have a resh here, or a resh here, it sounds almost air. It's mixed into 2 syllables, where most people just say air. Okay, good.
Oral, Aral, Aram,
Good. Do the third from the last again.
Orel.
Good.
Orel.
Good.
Re'a, Rea, Ro'a, Ro'eh, Ra'a, Ra'a,
Ra'ah.
Ra'am, Ra'.
Good. Good. That's right. That's exactly how you do it. And it's hard if you have an sound, but that's exactly how you figure that out. Good.
Sha'on. Ha-sha'on. Shabbaton. Sha'on.
What's the vowel under
Sha'an.
there?
Sha'ab.
Good. Very, very good. Now, this is a thing that you guys are really getting this. Your brains are working very hard, so please be patient with yourselves. Now we're going to do a new vowel. And I know it's too bad that Susan left right now, so I just want to confuse her. So, Susan, this one's for you. It is 2 dots that go on top of each other vertically, and it is sometimes silent and sometimes pronounced. So, and what is pronounced is sort of, and what is pronounced is silent. So, this is really just an exercise in how to make us crazy in all new kinds of ways. Okay, so let's read about this. The silent vowel is sometimes silent, sometimes pronounced. When it is pronounced, it has a short, indistinct, I like that, a short, indistinct vowel sound. Like a in alone. So everybody just say the word alone out loud. Just say alone.
Hello.
So what did you do with that A? How would you describe what you did with that A?
It's the
It's
like, yeah.
It's a schwa.
Yeah, that's the right word for it. That is the right word for it in, I guess, English, German. You'll hear it sometimes called schwa or shva. In Hebrew, it's a shva.
So transliteration, is that with like the apostrophe?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So how it's captured when it's in its silent is, as Stephen said, with an apostrophe. So if you're ever looking at transliteration and you see an apostrophe, that's what it's supposed to be. But as it said in the little lettuce in here, sometimes it's pronounced. So when it is, it has a short indistinct vowel sound like the A in alone or the O in occur. So say occur out loud. Occur. Do you see how it's just like this? Sound. Some find it easiest to think of the schwa vowel simply as a silent vowel that nonetheless requires the sounding of the consonant written above it. Nonetheless. I'm not quite sure if I understood that in English, but so let's play with this a little bit. And the good news is you have one in the name of your temple. What's the name of our congregation here? Yeah, right. So, B'nai Haim, if you think about it, it shouldn't be B'nai or Ba-nay or Bo-nay, it's B'nai, right? So do you hear how it's just like a B
It's just a
sound?
little short.
Yeah. So we're already doing it, so give yourself credit, you're actually already doing it, you just don't know you're doing it. Every time you say our congregation, you're saying it. What?
In the B.
Right, or if you say TBC, and you're skirting around it.
Oh, which, are you saying it in the A in B'nai or?
Under the bet.
Oh, on the bet.
Actually, we know all the letters to write the name now. We can write our name, this is cool. Okay, so now it's going to tell you, remember it said sometimes it's silent, and it just makes the sound of the consonant, and sometimes, I find the English to the explanation very difficult. Let's just read and then this will make more sense. But when it's silent and when it's not silent, it's not such a big distinction, depends on where it shows up in the position of the word. That's the part I want you to know. Is it the very first thing, is it the very last thing, or is it someplace in the middle? Now we're going to play with different examples of where schwa might show up. So at the beginning, when the schwa vowel appears at the beginning of the word, it has a short sound that enables the consonant above it to be pronounced. Right? So let's do this one going around, because this is putting a lot of stress on any one individual. Where did we seem to be? Oh, okay, Tracy.
Mama.
Okay. Pam?
Baba.
Good.
For me.
Good.
Shema.
Look at me. Good.
Shema.
What's that?
Shema.
Oh no, you know what? You weren't in the room when we
Sorry.
did that. No, that's okay. That's what you said.
Shema.
This is a new letter for us. That's an N. That's a nun sound.
I'm sorry, my car wouldn't start this
You
morning,
okay?
so I'm fine.
That's okay. It's an N sound.
I'm so like dizzy right now.
So that would be. Do you want to try that one?
Sinead.
Sinead. Good.
Sinead. Sinead.
Oh, what's the last thing?
What is it? Oh, shit. Sinead. Wait.
What's the last consonant? Yeah. That's right.
B'nai.
Good. So B'nai is a twin letter. That's how we spell our congregation. But that's like you now know all the letters for that. Okay.
I'm missing some. Could you do like B'nai
Okay.
without the 2 dots, and then with the 2 dots?
You can't say it.
But I can't.
But it has to
I
be a
just
vowel.
told you I can't make that
It would
sound.
be ba-nay if you had.
Okay, so let's play with
Different
B'nai. Let's play with B'nai for a second. So
Oh, I see.
we
Versus
have.
B'nai.
Yeah. Got it.
You got it. Okay. So
I struggle with this.
so if it was that, it would be B'nai, right?
Got it.
And if it was something like that, it would be Bonai. And if it was something like that, it would be B'nai. Are you following me what I'm doing? So if it's B'nai. Okay. Now, so everybody has got it into their heads that when it's at the very front of the word, it has to make that little, what they call a little short explosive sound. Okay. The way they try to describe these things.
Indistinct.
Indistinct.
Explosive.
Make an indistinct sound. At the end of a word, when the schwa vowel appears under the last letter of a word, it is silent. This one is easy. Read aloud the following examples. So where did we last leave off? Okay, remember.
So,
But you still have to pronounce the consonant.
oh,
Good. It's as if the schwa wasn't there at all. That's right.
At.
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Ma.
getting confused by the dot in the middle of the other one.
Yeah, don't look at that, don't look at that.
Na, ta,
Good, excellent. Mhm. Oh, this is a double whammy.
Everyone waiting to bated breath.
But.
But, that's right, right. So why is this one a challenge? What was tricky about that? What did he have? Let's just unpack this for
Silence.
Yeah, right. He had a
Silent.
silent
Or a silent
consonant and a silent
vowel.
vowel. But that's exactly right. So it would just be but.
So, and so when all vowels go away, that goes away too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this is why you have to worry that much. And similarly, it will not just show wandering up on itself. You won't just erase it. Silent on silent. It's very Buddhist almost. Yes.
So even though Aleph sounds like an A, it's considered, it's a consonant here, not like being like
Ah.
an L.
It's not exactly. It's only it sounds like an A if it has an A vowel under it. By itself, it won't make any vowel. Although, what's interesting is the Hebrew word aleph bet is the origin of the Greek word aleph bet, and so we make A. We turned aleph into A. Not we in this class, but do you see what I'm saying? How and that's why your brain is thinking that aleph should sound like A, because the first letter of the English aleph bet is A.
But it's a consonant.
But it's a consonant, that's a silent consonant. Yeah, yeah. Our brains always play tricks on us. Now we get to the fun part. If it's in the middle of a word. When two vowels, two schwa vowels, appear side by side in the middle of the word, the first vowel is silent, like at the beginning of the word, and the second is pronounced with a short sound, like the vowel at the beginning. Read the following line. Okay. Thanks.
Rabbi, I have so much respect for my kids having learned this now.
I love your kids. I'm sure they're geniuses. All of them are geniuses. This is true. Next, Porphyry. It's good to start early. That's what I said. I think when we first started here, Hebrew was introduced in 4th grade, but then we moved it down to 3rd grade. And you'll see that even now, if you're with the very, very little kids, they start to get some of these words that, and some of the letters. They play with like the letters, and so that by the time they get to 3rd grade, it's already natural to them. And then, of course, if you think about how human speech is, we slur things. We don't speak distinctly. So, what is this saying? If you look at the 3rd word in, you see these two schwas next to each other. Okay, does everybody see there's two schwas next to each other, under the lamed and under the mem? When two schwa vowels appear side by side, the first schwa vowel is silent, the second is pronounced. So, who would like, okay, Jonathan, read that again,
Tamaro.
Okay, tal, miro. What happens is that, did everybody, I'm going to do it in slow motion. Ta, miro. Do you see what happened? The first one just was nothing, and the second one was a short sound.
But so you don't pronounce the L.
No, ta, miro. Ta, miro.
Close the syllable.
Ah, not to a full ah. It's not to the, not in that. Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
ignore the first.
Almost like a U.
Yeah.
Are you bringing a lamed sound in there at all?
Yes.
Just a short one.
Tal, miro.
Is it right? Is that right? You're ignoring the first one?
Yes, yes. You make it totally silent.
And then the second one is the way we can learn.
Yes.
The first one just lets you say the sound of the consonant by itself.
That's it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, yes.
It's like,
It's, so let's do a little reading. Let's go, where did we last leave off? Let's start with that first top, that first word.
I think it was tal,
Okay, Kim?
miro.
Good,
Talmud.
good. What's the vowel under the mem? Mm-hmm. Lume, good. so we're getting this. This is a little tricky. This is a little tricky. Now, one last thing about this. When there's a single one of these schwas in the middle of a word, it is generally silent, although it is going to make you crazy. There are instances when it's pronounced with a short sound. Unless you were told, what's my favorite part of this whole book? The little voice whispering to you, the still small voice. Otherwise, unless you're told otherwise.
Probably.
It's probably best to treat a single schwa.
They don't really commit in this book, do they?
Only on certain people. Well, you know what it is though? But think about it. This is what's the challenge here is you have to look at what the endeavor is. The endeavor of this book is to teach Hebrew to American Jews. This was done by the Reform movement.
Who have no context.
So, so peel back the layers of what that means. For the most part, we have no context other than the opportunities to hear it in worship. And we have no history of hearing it spoken. It wasn't like our parents grew up speaking this to us. So it's like you said, we're learning it late, and then there's no reinforcement. So it's actually kind of like a magical exercise. You know, and so then they're trying to help us by giving us all these rules, but the rules aren't really rules because the spoken language is that way, isn't it?
You know, English is like that too. That makes, in a way, I feel better because I'm always telling my kids, oh, it's just one of those stupid English things where you think it should be pronounced this way, but so it's
Yes.
more a language thing than.
It's right. It's
Just
about
this, yeah.
language, and it would be hard enough just to say it was about language, but what we do with Hebrew language is so different than if we were studying Spanish or French or a language that the kids take in high school or college.
Is it fair to say that when it occurs in the middle of a word that it's telling you that's the end of that syllable?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That's the easiest way to pronounce it.
You know what this reminds me of? Is Billy Crystal once described someone asked him about Yiddish, and he said Yiddish is a combination of German and phlegm.
And how much phlegm do you bring in? Oh, exactly right, exactly right. So let's try to read some of these. Let's go around. Deb, did we end with you? Okay.
So, Shamra,
Good.
Shamna.
Shalom.
Shamron.
Show. Show Ram. I'm sorry. Show Rome.
Good.
can I ask a quick question?
Yes,
I
please.
heard how we all just read those, but would it be incorrect to say, so it's incorrect to say like Shamra, Shamana, you stop the
Yes,
Sham,
yeah,
Shamana.
yes. To give it like that short distinct sound. Good.
So you're really doing an apostrophe.
Exactly. When you see that in transliteration, that's what it would look like. It would look like the apostrophe. Now, of course, there is one exception. What?
Potential.
Unless you hear otherwise. Unless you hear otherwise, it's like, wait, you're hearing voices in your head, you really have a bigger problem than not knowing how to read Hebrew. Okay. There's one exception worth noting, as opposed to the not worth noting. Sorry, on the top of page 32. There's one exception worth noting here to the general statement given above. When a single schwa vowel appears in the middle of a word under a letter that is immediately followed by the same letter, the schwa vowel has a short sound to enable the pronunciation of both letters. Bo-lo does not sound the same as, now this is extra credit, who would like to attempt to pronounce this? Yeah, good, yeah, everybody had it, good. So bo-lo does not sound the same as bololo. Because in the latter word, a short vowel sound is inserted after the first L to enable the pronunciation of two, L, I said lamed, to enable the pronunciation of two lamed sounds. So this is a way to make two of the same consonants, not just into l, like a long L, to make it two.
I
wanted to do
think I
that.
want to write Native American long words with the Hebrew code.
See how great it would be, like, if we ever had to, like, you know, when they use, like, Native American speakers to break codes and develop codes, we could have, like, our own code system. So let us do this. Everybody get ready, like, your tummy is gonna trip. It's gonna make, like, a little skipping sound. Let us skip our tongues around here. Where did we last leave off? Okay, good. We're on the bottom of that little paragraph. Good.
Rolalan?
Oh,
No,
what's
no,
the middle?
no,
What's
no.
the middle consonant?
I have no clue.
It's a mem.
A mem?
I'm sorry.
You do,
I
you
said
do, you do.
that. Roma. Memo.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Romemo. And Stephen just asked, is that a real word? You know that the Cantor sings a song called, that's exactly right, Romemu. Right. So this is the single masculine of the plural. Romemu is Romemo. And it's let us make this noise, this rejoicing sound, which is what Roman is. Sorry. There's not an exact word in English, right? It's a rejoicing sound. So this is, he made a rejoicing sound, is what Romemo is.
Sha-ta-ta.
Good.
Shomamot.
All right. Bring it together a little bit.
Shomamot.
Good, nice.
Molala.
Say that again.
Molala. Molala.
Good,
Sorry.
very good. Very, very good. Now we're getting ready to practice reading.
What was that what we were just doing?
No, it's just a warm-up exercise. Now we're going to read. Now we're going to read.
Polly, do you want me to do the whole line?
Let's do the whole line. I think this will be good.
Try to, you know.
And whoever thinks they're getting I, start practicing now.
So, ballet.
Oh, wait, go back. I'm sorry. I was distracted by my bagel. Go back, go back.
Ballet. Charade.
Mm-hmm.
Rache.
Now, don't stay too long on the schwa with the nun.
Okay. Nishe.
Yeah, I heard.
Nash.
No.
Nishe.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sometimes when you stay too long, it ends up sounding like an ah sound. Na-she versus nishe.
So nishe. So this should be tishe.
Good.
Nishe. Nishe. Relay.
Good.
What was the fifth?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How would you do that fifth one? It's a mem, lamed, aleph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one with the mem?
Man,
The third from the end, yeah. Good. Malay. Good, good. Okay. Do you want to try the B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shmo. Shro. Shamaro. Shamro.
Good.
Shararo.
Good.
Tashmaro.
Okay, good. Now you're getting a little I-ish. Tash Muro. Good.
No. Listen. I'm just asking us to say it louder because with all the
The
kids
kids
behind
are
us,
making
it
a lot of
sounds
noise.
quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Banat.
Mm-hmm.
Tena. Ma.
Think of Stephen's rule, which I think actually you should turn it into the URJ. That's a great superintendent.
So, ma. Ma.
I'm sorry, lam.
Now,
No?
if it's at the front of the syllable, if it's the first one,
La'am,
good.
sorry, la'am, la'an,
Mm-hmm,
laman,
mm-hmm,
lama'an,
mm-hmm.
lama'an, lam'an,
Mm-hmm.
lam'an, laman, man.
Okay, good, try that one again, that's right.
Lam, no, it's lam,
That's it, that's it.
Lam,
Now, some of you are, again, if you're used to hearing some of the Hebrew songs, the prayers, Leman, are you starting to hear that you're recognizing some of these words now? Good.
Na'or.
Wait, go back, say that one again. The first one, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first one.
Na'or. Na'o. How do you say it?
What would you do with, let's break it down, what would you do with the nun with the shva if it's in the first position?
Silent?
No.
No.
It has the,
No, right?
no.
Mhm. And then what do you have? You have a silent aleph and then you have a,
Oh.
okay, so how would you put all that together?
Na'o.
Good, that's it. Does everybody see that? That's very tricky. No.
Where'd the F come from?
The shva in the first position makes a short indistinct sound,
The apostrophe.
like a b-nay. No. Good, okay, sorry, Mark, let's go.
Na'or. Na're. Na'o. Ray.
Okay, now be careful because this is the same criticism that I think I gave to Kim. When we are in that first position shva, if we linger too long, it becomes an A sound almost. So you don't want to say ma'ore. What do you want to say for the fourth one?
Na'ore.
Good.
Na'ore.
Oh, here's some double.
Oh, great.
The doubles.
Araru.
Okay, what's the R's, the ratios were right, but what's the last vowel?
Araro.
The double dot with the yud.
A.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing that, right?
So it's Arare.
Good.
Arane.
Ah, but when it's in the middle with nothing else, what is Stephen's rule? It's a good rule, it is, it works. So how would you say that? R,
Arne.
good, Arne.
What was the third?
1, 2, 3. Net ore. Wait, am I right? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, no, array.
Can you read the whole line?
Okay, I'll try to read E. Let's go very, very slowly. Ne-o, ne-or, ne-ore, me-ore, R-A, I'm sorry, R-A, R-ne. Me-ore, or shasita from the Yotzer. So now you're starting to see these words, or I can now read these words. Okay, good. Let's do F.
Shemam, shemat, shemamta. That's a toughie.
Yeah, that's good. Mamta, yeah.
Shomamo, tashmame.
Oh, good.
Wait, isn't the fourth one
1, 2, 3.
Shomo?
Ah,
It's two
it's,
mums in a mem.
what's the rule, right, Pam, say that again, that's it.
There's two mems side by side, so you have to
it's
put two
Momo,
sounds.
right, sorry.
Normally you're right, except if it's the same consonant. That's the trick, that's where you get that little skipping
But if
sound.
they both had schwas, if both of them had schwas, you wouldn't say the first one, you would say, I'm getting confused by the,
Okay, if they both had schwas, let's go back to, because some people are more visual. Look at the bottom of page 31. Remember we did tal, maro, and then we put it together to,
right.
so the first one is nothing and the second one is the short sound.
But that's the first two.
Okay.
That's if they're two and they're just in two different consonants.
Oh.
But if it's the same consonant, then you say it Okay,
Or make both
sounds.
sounds.
You wanna make both sounds, okay.
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, let's keep going.
G.
Or la. Or lo. Or ra. Or wrote.
Say that one again, because that was a hard one.
Or wrote.
Ah, but you've got two races, so how do we make double race?
Or wrote.
Good, good, good. Could you hear it? She said it right, it's very hard to hear. That's right, okay.
Or lo.
Good, very good.
Al-man.
Okay, now, when you have a shva, there's only one in the middle.
Ale.
Then you don't need to pronounce it.
Al. Al. Men.
All is good, and then what's under the mem? That little T vowel. All man.
Alman.
Good.
Al. Almon.
Good.
Almana.
Good.
Alma.
Ah, now this time they dropped the lamed out.
Oh. No. Amnan.
Then what's that after the nun?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Known.
Good.
Unknown. Nam.
And this you can even make it shorter. Aninam. Did that?
Nam. Ananam.
Good, good, good. Very, very good.
That was a sigh of relief from it.
El Bosch, now Beish, now Osho,
Now what would you want to do with that bit? What would?
Osho,
You're, okay, this is very tricky. Look, everybody, let's look at this.
got it.
Okay, well, try again.
now the show,
Yes. She had to decide, will I take that dot and make it an O? Will I leave it for the shin? Or will I take the shva? That's what her brain was trying to
It's later
do.
to be named later.
Tal the Shay,
Good.
Tal the Show.
Very, very good.
Can you say that third one again?
Yes, thank you.
1, 2, 3. Nal b'sho. So here's what my brain had to do. It had to say, wait, there can't be two vowels on one consonant. That's the rule. That's a different rule than in English. There can't be two vowels on one consonant. So the shva has to be a player here, because you can't have the shva and the O sound.
And can you read the last two?
I'm not getting that one.
Okay, let's do this again. I'm sorry, Deb, tell me what you just said
Just
again.
the I, the last two words.
Okay. So you know, I'm gonna read I. I'm just gonna read all of I. Okay. El Bash. Nal Besh. I'll say it even differently. Nal Besh. Tal Besho. Tal Beshay. Tal Besho. Oh, does that make sense? Now, the good news, after all that, you've earned another word. You've now learned the word to spell. Who can read this? Shema. Good. So do you see how Shema should not be actually pronounced Shema or Shema? It's Shema. Which when we do with the kids, Shema, we do it right. It's just that when we see it spelled, sometimes it's spelled S-H-E, and so then we want to make a longer E. So Shema. This is a command form of a verb, which the root is shin, mem, ayin. The basic meaning of this root is to hear or listen or obey. The command Shema can be translated as hear or listen. The word Shema is the first word of the biblical verse of Deuteronomy 6:4. This verse is considered the central affirmation of Jewish faith. It is recited during morning and evening services, and some Jews recite it every night at bedtime. It is also part of the text inscribed on the scroll within the mezuzah that hangs on the doorposts of Jewish homes and institutions. So if you ever open up your mezuzah, inside is a tiny, tiny piece of parchment or a piece of paper, and you'll see on it the Shema. Just as a, I don't know if these guys mention it, it's a favorite topic of mine, so I'll mention it in passing. In Torah manuscripts, there are certain letters that are always written majuscule or minuscule, meaning extremely large or extremely small. And, I don't mean stretched out to justify the columns, but I mean height small or large. And in the Shema, the ayin, so in Deuteronomy 6:4, the ayin is always written majuscule. Now, we can talk about this in great detail. This was the thesis, my rabbinic thesis, was majuscules and minuscules in the entire Tanakh. But for now, we just will mention that in passing. Now, let's take a look on the top of page 33. The Shema, the verse affirms the Jewish belief in the Eternal One. You may already know the Shema by heart. You can now read many of the Hebrew letters and vowels in this verse. So everybody, just take a look at that for a second. And yeah, you can read probably about 80% of this. Let's say the Shema out loud together, but use your finger as we go from word to word. So catch yourself actually trying to read it. Shema Yisrael Adonai. Now, did we talk about how Yud Yud is Adonai? That was on one of the little inserts to read. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. So that's pretty good.
I'm not even gonna ask about the two vowels under,
Which one?
Elohim. Do the Aleph under Elohim, or is that one vowel we haven't learned yet?
Which
It
one?
looks like two.
Under Eloheinu. One, we haven't learned it yet. But two, when you add a shva vowel to another vowel, since the shva vowel is silent, the vowel takes the talking vowel takes over from the silent vowel. It's an aggressive vowel. So can you see how Eloheinu would be eh?
Yes.
Because the shva with the three dots are commanding over the shva. Okay, now we're going to go on a little bit. Yes, please, of course.
Can you just tell us our homework?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, wait, let's skip ahead. We're going to talk about Nun Tav, final Nun. I want to mention the writing on page 35. Do take some time to learn the writing. Aleph and Ayin are the two that are written the most unusually. So if this is a regular Aleph in print, does everybody see what I just did? A line like that, and then another line, and another line. In print, in script, an Aleph looks like this. It's two parts. This is an Aleph in script. So do practice writing on page 35, and an ayin is weird. An ayin would normally look like a curve and down like that. You should adjust it like that. And an ayin in print looks like a fish on its head. Do you see that? That's an ayin. Which I'll tell you in passing why it looks like that. The word ayin means eye. That's an eye. You see how the eye means an eyeball here. Ayin means eyes. Okay. So anyway, so yes, the homework, we should do a little of the writing. Do a little of the writing on 35. Do the connecting piece let's do all of page 36. On the bottom of 36 is something that I'm now trying to, I've said it a couple times out loud in English, and now the text is going to bring this to you in English and Hebrew. Even though you think, oh, I don't speak Hebrew, I don't know any Hebrew words, many people have a passive vocabulary of several hundred words in Hebrew. If you've been going to, our kids certainly do. Our kids in religious schools certainly do. So, as an example, look at the bottom of page 36. Menashe, Rosh Hashanah, Amram, Moshe, Leah, Amen, Tamar, Menorah, Shlomo. Now you can read all those words. And many, many more. I mean, I didn't want to stop the class every time you were reading words, but you're actually reading words in Hebrew now. And these words, some of them are names, you already know them. So this is very exciting because it's bringing a level of comprehension to it. Yes?
So for Leah, you're not even pronouncing the shin or anything that has to do with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. They want you to connect the lines.
And it's a trick, because some of them
Oh,
are.
it's
Sorry, some of them are at the top of the next page.
So you have to draw the line like one.
Yeah.
So Leah would be your
Yeah, some of them are at the top of 37.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, yes.
Tricky.
Page,
Possibly.
exercise 3 spills over onto the top of the page. On page, bottom of 36 and top of page 37, yes. Let's see if anybody's doing their homework. And last but not least, so basically your homework is to do the writing on page 35, do the connect the lines and the do all of 36, and do read 37 out loud. Those of you who have children will enjoy being abused by them while reading page 37 out loud. And if you'd like to rent a child, I have an abusive one, that's on for hire. The last thing is look at page 38, very quickly. It's going to tell you a little bit about the letter Aleph and about something called gematria. In Hebrew, there's this very cool thing that letters have numerical value. So Aleph is 1, and Bet is 2. You see how that goes? Etc., etc., etc. So what's fun about this is you can derive all kinds of different meanings. So if you take the word Leah, Lamed is 30, Aleph is 1, Hey is 5. So now I can say, wait, 30 plus 1 plus 5 is 6, so 36, and I can make a whole story about what 36 means, etc., etc. So it's an interpretive, it's a hermeneutical technique is what it is. So it's fun to do. And in Reform Judaism, because we lean a little bit more to the sort of post-Enlightenment Germanic influence, we don't get too carried away with gematria. But in other Jewish traditions, gematria is big, 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 big. Like you choose a name around it, you might choose who you're going to marry, you might choose what you're going to say for your Devar Torah. I mean, it's a big deal, this whole gematria thing. For us, it's curious and interesting. So do take a look at gematria. It could be humorous as well. Do take a look at the thing under Aleph for gematria. Please study at least 3 times this week. Your brains are getting much information now, and you do need the repetition, okay? All right, I did not realize it's almost 10:30, so I'm going to run into do services now. Thank you guys so much. I will see you.